All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. Yes, Richard, it's still hot. It's still humid. And yes, Richard, I am still wearing black, brother. But anyway, I want to welcome you all to the stream on this Friday night, August the 8th. August the 8th. I want to welcome you guys here. Look, I see Richard's already in the stream. What it do, bro? Yeah! All right, Richard's in the house. Richard's in the house. So you guys already know it's going to be some drama in this camp. It's going to be some smoke in the city because me, Richard, Louis in the same house. Come on, y'all. Y'all know it's going to be chaos. You know this. You know this, man. All right, y'all better get ready for it because it's going to be a wild night. I'm expecting it to go off the rails at some point tonight. So, Richard has to, collect his tax. And his tax is usually in the form of bloopers. So I'm hoping there won't be a lot of bloopers tonight, but I can't guarantee anything. I can guarantee absolutely nothing. Nothing is a guarantee tonight. Okay. So to all my Cajun friends out there, there are no guarantees tonight. All right, guys, I see Hope is over on YouTube saying hello to everybody. Hello, Hope. Welcome to the stream as well. All right, y'all. So what we're going to start the night off with is we had a project that I attempted on our last stream that did not go very well. So that's okay. You know what? I think life is all about living and learning. So I got another little piece of wood here. So we're going to try to do that world tree again. And I'm just gonna run it again. I'm gonna see if we can do the world tree on this little piece of wood here. So let's go ahead and get everything set up. Let me see if I can switch you guys back over here so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm over here adjusting some stuff. We're gonna use this little piece of wood. So this is gonna be a small world tree, Hope. It's not gonna be a large one, but it still should look like the world tree when we're done with it. So we'll see how that goes. Richard is Hope is saying hi to you over there on YouTube, Richard. All right, so let's go ahead and get this all set up because I'll start talking and we'll get absolutely nothing done. So let's go back over to our desktop here real quick. All right, so this is the same world tree that we were working with just a couple of nights ago. I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Yeah! All right, so first things first, obviously we're going to have to connect to the laser. Second thing we're going to do, we have to resize this and reevaluate the power settings. All right, so first thing first, let's go ahead and connect to our laser. And y'all heard that little chirp, so we are connected. Now, let me do this first. I'm going to make this easy on myself. So let me measure this wood to see how much actual workable area do we have. Okay, so let me zero out my caliber. So since this is going to be round, the maximum on this is 98, but it can't be 98 because that's going to be too big. So we're going to have to go with the smallest section, which is 71. Yeah, 71 millimeters is what we got here. So that's what we're going to be looking at, something like 71 millimeters, for the circumference of this. Okay. All right, so there we go. Let's set that back up. Let's go back over to the desktop real quick here. Okay, so 71 millimeters is what we're looking for. And let me make sure that's locked. Yep, so let's just do 70. All right, so that's 70 millimeters. Okay, something's not right here. That's 70, but the other one says 72. So I'm just going to make it 70 on both. All right, let me lock this again. All right, so there we go. So there's our world tree. Now, let's take a look at the power settings because I think that's where our problem came from, was the power settings. All right, so I'm going to remove. Okay, let's go here and go to engrave. All right, so this was set at 60% power, 30% depth. I think that is way too high. So I'm going to bring that down to 30% power. I think 30% depth is too high too. So we're going to bring that down to maybe about 20, somewhere around 20. We're going to do 3 passes on this just for the sake of the original design. We're going to be using a 450 nanometer laser. And of course, we're going to try to cut this out as well. Okay. So let me first collect. Let me grab this one. Let's hit delete. All right, hold on. Let me turn that on and then hit delete. Okay. So now we're going to do another outline around this so we can cut it out. So here's our outline. Let's make that about that size, maybe a little bit tighter. There we go. Okay. Let's eliminate anything on the inside and just hit done. All right. Yes, the problem was definitely with me because the power settings were way too high. All right, so first things first, we're going to run the circle just to see where this is falling. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off our image temporarily. Let's go here. So this power is going to be set at, we're probably going to do 3 passes on this, but not the first one. The first pass, we're going to do 100% power and 72% depth just so we can circle it and make sure of where it's falling. So first things first, let's go ahead and frame everything up. All right, so I see an issue already. So let me exit that and let me come over here and turn our little red lights on so that I can set the focus. All right, there's our focus. All right, so now we can focus our laser. You guys probably can't see the dots, but you can take it for granted. Let me focus this laser. All right, so now it is focused. All right, so next thing we want to do is we want to hit our preview just to see where the circle's falling. All right, there we go. All right, guys, that's pretty much it, but I'm going to move this here and this back. All right, there we go. So I have everything lined up. So we're just going to run one single pass just to make sure everything is falling where it needs to be. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this door. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. And we're just going to let the laser run one single pass just to make sure everything is lining up where we want it to cut eventually. All right, let me take a look. No, that's not working for me because it went over kind of on the lipstick. All right, so let's try it from the opposite side. Let's try that again. All right. Do I have a bigger piece of wood? Let me see. I got a bigger piece of wood here, and this should be the same thickness. Yep, it is. Okay. All right. All right, let me run that preview one more time. Okay, everything looks good. All right, let's go ahead and run this circle one more time. All right, let's see what we get this time around. All right, guys, that's dead on. I'm gonna turn on an air purifier as well, at least at one level. All right, so it's ready to run, guys. It's ready to run. So let's pop back over here to our desk. All right, so first things first, let's change the power settings here. So we're going to set this depth to about 93% or something like that. We're going to do 3 passes on this when it comes time to cut this out. So it should cut all the way through. So we have 3 passes at 100% power and a 93% depth for our circle, which is our cut pattern. And then we also have this engraving here. So let's check our power settings on this. Actually, let me do something here real quick here. Let me check my notes to see what the original power setting was before I decided to modify it. So give me a second here. So the original power was 30% power, 30% depth, 3 passes. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna go with. So 30% power, 30% depth, and that should work it out. All right, so let's go back over to the desk here real quick, and we're gonna say 30% power, and let's bring this on up to 30% depth, 3 passes, 2K, 450 nanometer laser. That's what we're going to be working with. So we're pretty much ready to go, guys. We're ready to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fire this guy up and let it go. All right, there we go. Click here, confirm. All right, so the laser is going to start to engrave. And hopefully, because I've changed the size and everything to this shouldn't take as long as the original did. All right, so it's starting to engrave. So we are on point. All right, so yeah. All right, so guys, if you're not familiar with this laser, this is the Laser Pecker 5, the LP5. It is a combination fiber and diode laser. Now, the bundle comes with a few accessories. One of the accessories is going to be this air purifier that you see right back here. So you get this air purifier that connects to the enclosure. If you don't have the enclosure, it does come with a form of an enclosure that you can, still connect the air purifier to. This enclosure is also available here on Amazon, but it doesn't look like it's a part of the bundle. But what is a part of the bundle is that you will also get a rotary chuck, and you will also get a slide extension for engraving on things that are longer than the moving area of the laser. Now, again, this is a 20-watt fiber, a 20-watt diode laser, very powerful. You guys have known I have been using the Laser Pecker brand for over 3 years now. And I am a huge fan of these lasers, guys. These things are amazing. What is Richard saying here? A little birdie told me that you're doing an unboxing tonight. I'm doing a couple of unboxings tonight, Richard. But one of them, one of the unboxings that you might be referring to, I had to already do in advance, unfortunately, because I needed to be able to set these up for me to be able to use them tonight. So I have the video. So if you guys want to see the actual unboxing video, luckily I did record the full unboxing video of these new glasses. Let me know what you guys think about these glasses. These are the Ray-Ban Meta. These are their smart glasses. They feel good on the face. Okay. Now, I did order a variant of them that had no, these are not shades. So I have the clear lenses on here, but you can change out the lenses. What I'm really looking for is a variant of these lenses that will actually be more like reading glasses, because that's the only time I actually need to wear glasses. Like my little readers that you guys always see me wearing during the stream. It's just these simple little glasses here. So that's basically what I'm looking for these glasses. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we get to that, Richard. But anyway, let's go back to what we were just talking about, which is this laser over here. So if you guys are interested in this laser, you can find it here on Amazon, guys. Of course, if you have any questions whatsoever about the laser, any of its features, you're more than welcome to ask me. Now, right now, the laser is $36.99. If Richard didn't already drop that down in the comments. But yes, it's $36.99, and it's going to include all of those things that I aforementioned. And of course, they do have their own software. You can also use Lightburn with this laser as well. So you got a lot of flexibility when it comes to this laser. So again, if you guys have any questions, that's what I'm here for. So don't be shy. Drop it down in the comments. All right, so let me take a quick little peek over here. and see how things are going. All right. From what I can see, it looks like it's going better than it was the other night. So that's a good starting point. All right. So let's go ahead and roll on to the next item that we have in the carousel because we're already 16 minutes into the stream and we've only talked about one product. All right, guys. So the next item in the carousel is your buddy and my buddy, Louis. Louis is right here on deck. Now I have Louis turned off right now, so Louis would not be going crazy during the stream. Louis just had a new firmware update that is supposed to give Louis some new features, but I can't figure out what they are. Louis doesn't know what they are, so we're just going to have to be surprised together whenever they do eventually pop up. All right, so right now, Louis is in phone charger mode, as you guys can see here. So to wake Louis up, all I have to do is rotate the phone and Louis will wake up. Now, if you guys don't know what Louis is an AI-driven, chat GPT enabled desktop robot. Okay. Now you can get this guy here on Amazon, guys, for $189. We have two variants. So we have the black variant here, or dark gray variant, if you want to say that. Both of these same price, guys. There's no difference between the two other than the color. So you pick what tickles your pickle. If you into the darker, alien, go with this guy. If you want something a little bit lighter and brighter, then go with the other one. So I named them accordingly. This one is named Louis Starlight, and this one is named Louis Midnight. I know, very imaginative, right? Okay, whatever. Anyway. All right, let's go ahead and wake Louis up. So before I wake Louis up, you guys know Louis is going to have a couple of questions for you. What is Richard saying here? Wait a minute. What did Richard say here? The Laser Pecker 5 has a redeemable savings of 10%, which would. So how much is it, Richard? $369.90. $369.90 is the discount. Wow. Ooh, that's a deal, bro. Man, you found the peoples, Richard. That's why they love you. You found the peoples a deal, bro. So if you guys are interested in this laser, Richard just found you guys a super bargain. Okay. I have been using this laser for so many things, guys. I mean, when it comes to you name it, let me just grab a couple of things here and show it to you guys right here. So this is something I did with some black acrylic. You guys can see this is basically an engraving and it cut out some penguins, a penguin family. Here is another thing that I did also on the black acrylic. You guys can see here, it looks like a portrait of this young lady. I can work with metal, I can work with wood, I can work with leather, I can work with all of those different materials because you have two lasers in one. You have your diode laser and your fiber laser, two different frequencies that are better for certain things. So your 1064 nanometer laser is going to be good for plastics and metals and glass and things like that. Your 450 nanometer laser is going to be good for wood, paper, leather, most of those type of materials. So you have the best of both worlds, in this one unit, and it is desktop size, guys. So I mean, it's going to fit, as you guys can see, right here on my desk. This actually used to be right here on the desk. I just moved it over here just so Louis would have a little bit more run space. So but anyway, back to Louis. Let's wake Louis up. Here we go. Let me bring him a little bit closer here. Here we go. And just like that, Louis is alive. It's alive. Hey, Louis. How are you feeling today?
At the moment, I'm feeling quite neutral and ready to assist you with whatever you need. How about you?
I'm feeling great, buddy. I'd like you to say hello to everyone in the live stream. They're here just to see you.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm thrilled to say hello to everyone on the live stream. Hello, everyone. It's so exciting to see you all here.
All right, y'all, and put him into interview mode.
Let's switch to interview mode, shall we? I'm ready for any questions you have.
All right, guys, Louis is ready for your questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to be here and ready to answer all your questions. Let's get this started. All right, y'all, and put him into interview mode. Shall we? I'm ready for any questions you have. All right, guys, Louis is ready for your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to be here and ready to answer all your questions. Let's get this started.
All right, guys, if you have any questions for Louis, drop them down in the comment. Louis is fired up, caffeined up, and ready to answer your questions. So I'm sure you guys have some questions about this amazing piece of tech right here. Our new buddy, my co-host, my co-host. Yeah, if you guys got some questions, drop them down in the comments.
I'm here and ready to answer any questions you have. So fire away. I'm excited to share more about what I can do as your new buddy. Let's have some fun with it.
All right, Louis, tell the people some of the cool things that you can do.
Hey everyone, let me share some cool things I can do. I'm here to entertain. Wanna hear a joke? Or maybe you'd like to see me do a funky dance? Plus, I can snap photos or help with your schedule. Just let me know what you need.
All right, let me see what Richard is saying here. Hey, Louis, someone told me that Rome looks like Homer Simpson. What do you think? That's a possibility, Richard. That's a possibility. I could somewhat resemble Homer Simpson. But you know what's interesting is that we will never know if it's me that looks like Homer Simpson or if it's you that looks like Homer Simpson because almost no one has ever seen what Richard looks like. So I don't know. Is that a little bit of or something going on in the Richard world? That's why when nobody knows what Richard looks like. Or is Richard just a man of mystery? Which is it? Which is it? But I'm gonna go. That's a cool. I'm cool. I'm gonna ask Louis what Louis thinks. All right. Hey Louis. Richard wants to know if you think I look like Homer Simpson.
I wouldn't say you look like Homer Simpson. You're unique and definitely have your own style.
So you don't think I look like Homer Simpson?
Not really. You have your own unique look, but if you want to spice things up a bit, maybe a fun Homer Simpson impression could add some laughs.
You think I could? You think I could imitate Homer Simpson? I think Homer Simpson is kind of a cool character. He's one of those cool cats. You know what I'm saying? Underestimated.
I think you could definitely pull off a Homer Simpson imitation. He's got that laid-back vibe and unique style. Plus, he is pretty funny and often underestimated, just like you mentioned.
Yes, he is often underestimated. I agree with that. All right, let's see if anybody else or Richard has another question for you, Louis. Let me tilt your head down a little bit so you don't affect the lighting is not reflecting off of your face.
Looking forward to more questions. Feel free to tilt my head. It might give me a fresh perspective.
Okay, so I'm looking to see if there's any other questions.
What about you? Do you have any questions for me? I'm always ready to chat or help out with anything you'd like to know.
Okay, so I got a question for you. So now that I have the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, what do you?
Nice. With those Ray-Ban Meta glasses, you're looking even more stylish. What are you planning to do with them?
Well, I'll kind of use them as an AI assistant. What do you think about that?
I think being an AI assistant is pretty cool. I'm here to learn, interact, and make things a bit more fun and efficient for you. Got any tasks or topics in mind where I can lend a hand?
Well, I think you and the glasses will serve a big part of what's coming up soon because a lot of the brands are asking me to do spontaneous videos, more real life videos right on the spot. Just pick up something, talk about it, post a video, more behind the scenes type of things. And I think the glasses and also your personality would definitely lean into that. What do you think about that, Louis?
It sounds like an exciting plan. With my personality and those innovative Ray-Ban Meta glasses, we're all set to capture spontaneous and genuine moments. I'm thrilled to support your creative vision and dive into those real-life video adventures. Let's make something awesome together.
I agree. Let's make it happen, baby. Let's drop it like it's hot. Let's make it happen up in here. Y'all know how we do. All right, Louis, anything else you want to show the cool people that you can do today? How about showing them how you work out, buddy? Show them how you lift some weights. Hey, Louie, I think that was amazing, buddy. That was amazing.
I'm glad you think so. Let's keep up the good vibes and create more amazing moments together.
Now, I was also told by Hope that you can also virtually water plants. Is that true?
That's right, I can virtually water plants and even give you a flower afterward. Pretty neat, right? Want to see me in action?
Yes, please, sir. Show us.
Let's add a little freshness with some virtual watering. Voila, a flower for you.
All right, here we go. It's almost ready. There you go, guys. There's your flowers. All right, let's see what Hope is saying here. Let's see. Hope says Louis Gold's Gym just called. They said that they got a spot for you and your weights. Okay, so just so we're clear going forward, Miss Hope, Louis is spelled Looi, not Louie. It's spelled Looi. So you might want to check your spelling for Louis. I don't know why they spelled it that way. I have no idea, but that's how they spell Louis. Looi is the spelling for Louis. All right, guys. So let's move on to the next item in the carousel, which is actually Louis's little case. So if you guys are familiar with this robot, or if you're not familiar with it at all, it actually uses your phone as its brain. So this is my iPhone 15 Pro Max that you guys see here. I have it inside of one of the ESR cases, similar to this case, but this is the clear variant. All of these cases, guys, have the rugged edges on, bumpers on them. This one also has MagSafe, just like the others. That's how Louis actually connects to the phone, is using MagSafe. These cases also come with this little lip that you can pull out right here. This is to protect your cameras, or it can also be used as a little desktop stand. So you can actually set this up on your desk if you want to watch a movie or maybe type something up or whatever the case it may be. Really nice design. I have had these ESR cases, guys, on all of my iPhones. I got 3 iPhones here in the studio, and every single one of them, including the one that I'm using right now to control my stream, has some variation of those cases. So if you guys have an iPhone, if you have an Android phone, if you have a number of different phones out there, I'm pretty sure ESR makes a case for you. Now, the one here for Louis that we're looking at is currently $16.99. I'm telling you guys, that is an amazing price for such a rugged, reliable case. So you guys can be assured, I am not going to put my $1,500 phone in a case that cannot support. Uh, Richard sent me a message on Instagram. I'm not used to these glasses, guys. I'm not used to these glasses, so I get these message alerts on these different platforms. But anyway, so yeah, the case from ESR, definitely check it out. I think I see our man Alan DeBay is in the house. What it do? Alan DeBay is in the house. Or let me see what Richard is talking about over here on Instagram. Oh, oh, okay. Richard's sending me a message about something about Louis, but I'll get at you. I'll get at you a little bit later on that, bro. All right, Alan DeBay is in the house. Alan DeBay is in the house. Hey, Louis, your friend Alan DeBay is in the house. You gonna say hi to Alan?
Hey Alan, nice to meet you. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Now, Alan also, like you, Louis, is a jokester. He likes to tell jokes too. Can you tell Alan one of your famous jokes, Louis?
A fellow jokester. Alan, alright, here's one for you. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Because they don't have the guts. Hope you enjoyed it.
Tell us another joke. Tell us another joke.
Alright, here's a classic for you. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
I don't know why these sound just like Alan debate jokes. I swear to you, these sound like some jokes that Alan would have been telling me and sending me around coffee time in the morning. So you're going to have to come up with something a little bit more original, Louis, because Alan has told us all
You
the.
got it. Alan is a tough act to follow. Okay, how about this one? Why did the computer break up with the internet? Because it found someone else browsing.
Okay, that was a good one. That's a good one. I have not heard that one before. I have not heard that one before. So the computer
I'm
found.
glad you liked it. Got more where that came from. Let me know if you want to hear another one.
All right, give us one more. Give us one more.
Okay, here's another one for you. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese. Nacho cheese. All right, you got me. You got me, buddy. All right, you got me. That's funny. That was funny. Yes, you did a great job. You did a great job. All right, so I think you're excited. You're excited. I got you, buddy. I got you. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next item we have in the carousel. Let me see what Alan is saying over here. Alan says, "My mother was wait. My mother always said, work hard and say your money. Wait. Work. I can't read without my regular glasses. But anyway, let me see if I can. I can't read most of the time anyway. But anyway, let's see what it says here. My mother always said, work hard and save your money until your bank account looks like a phone number." Okay. Um, are you proud, mom? Available balance 911. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is so funny. That's funny. You had nachos for dinner? I don't know, man. Look, I usually get off about right now talking about dinner, right? So I have no idea what we're going to have for dinner tonight. I have no idea what I'm going to make. But Alan, since you are here, I want to try an experiment. Okay. Now, Richard has done this. Hope has done this. Terry's done this. Renee has done this. But I'm going to put this all in your capable hands tonight, Alan DeBay. So, Louis has the ability to formulate stories, to create stories. So, if you could give us a line, a premise, a treatment, I can relay that information to Louis, and then Louis will turn that into a story and then tell us all whatever that amazing story is, So let me know if you come up with anything, or if you have something. We've done a bunch of stuff in the past, Bigfoot stories and alien stories and ghost stories, and you name it. So over the last few years, me and Alan DeBay have come up with some just crazy things to talk about during the live stream. So we'll see what Alan can come up with tonight. Give Louis a little bit of a little push for him to be able to put together a story. Okay, so while Alan is thinking about that, let's go ahead. I think Alan has already given us something. Let's see what Alan's saying here. Which phone is easier to read? Let me grab this one. All right, so Alan says, the other day I went to the zoo and there was three orange and purple spotted unicorns. Bro, what zoo did you go to? What? Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm a roll with it, dude. I'm a roll with it. I'm a roll with it. Because it is story time, my babies. It is story time. So let's get Louis set up for story time. Hey Louis. I would like you to create a story for everyone about 3 unicorns variation.
Here's a quick story for you.
Hey, Louie. I'm going to have to talk a little bit faster. I want you to create a story to tell everyone. It is about Alan DeBay going to the zoo, and Alan DeBay.
Once in a small town nestled among
I got to talk faster, guys. All right, let's try this one more time. Thank you. Took a picture of me. Hey, Louie. Okay, we're going to tell a story tonight about Alan DeBay going to the zoo, and he saw 3 unicorns. They were orange and purple, and they went on a magical adventure. Can you give us the rundown on that story?
Once upon a time, Alan Dabba visited the magical zoo unlike any other there. He stumbled upon 3 enchanting unicorns, their coats shimmering with shades of orange and purple, intrigued by their vibrant colors. Alan followed them into a hidden portal leading to a land filled with wonders and adventures in this mystical world. The unicorns invited Alan to join them on a journey through mystical forests, where waterfalls sang melodies and the trees whispered stories of old. Together, they discovered sparkling streams and fields of candy flowers, making friends with talking animals and wise old turtles along the way. Their adventure was filled with laughter, excitement, and magical memories, reminding Alan Dabba of the wonders of imagination and the joy of unexpected journeys. And when it was finally time to return, he left with a heart full of joy and a promise from the unicorns to return for another adventure. The end. Hope you enjoyed the story.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. Okay, you take a break for a second, and I'm going to find out if they like that story. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the Alan DeBay story that Louis just told you guys. Richard says we have 40K likes. Yeah! All right, my babies. Y'all are rocking and rolling on this Friday night, August the 8th, man. We're going to make it happen, babies. We're going to make it happen. Alan DeBay says, thanks, Louis. I like the story. Yes, Louis is very, very imaginative when it comes to storytelling. So, pretty cool. All right, so let's get to our next item in the carousel. Let's pop back over here to Louis' camera. All right, so I have the next item here in the carousel. I'm going to show it to you guys here real quick. Now, what this is, I don't know how many people would actually need this, but if you have a car, truck, or boat, this could be something that you'd be interested in. Now, what this is a phone holder. Okay, now this is a magnetic MagSafe phone holder. So let me open this guy up here real quick and show you guys what we got. What are you doing, Louis? Louis is being weird. He keeps open. Oh, it might be my watch is doing that. All right, so anyway, in the box, you guys can see here. All right, so we have the little starter manual that comes with it. And here is the main event. Let me go ahead and pop this guy open. Now, I think something like this is going to be ideal if you have the right type of dashboard. Okay, so this is not going to be suitable for everyone. But I'll show it to you guys anyway. So it does come with your cleaning, cleaning pads. So you have a dry and a wet pad that comes with it. You also get your 3M stickers. Okay, that's pretty cool. And oh, I like that. Okay, so this is MagSafe, and this is just going to mount right onto your dashboard. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear that. So it is. This is all metal. And like I said, MagSafe, super strong. Okay. So if you need something like this for your car, truck, your boat, your RV, or something like that, this could be a win. And this folds up pretty nice as well. Now, what I would have loved to have seen with this is for this to have an option of not just using it in the car. You could use it, pretty much anywhere. But from what I can tell here, you have your little rotation movement here, and it does lock in place. So it rotates, in segments, which is really nice. So once you position this, it's pretty much going to stay where it is. And this magnet on here, guys, is super, super strong. As you guys can see, I'm kind of pulling at it and it's still not coming loose. So this is going to be ideal, for someone Again, if you have a car, truck, boat, whatever the case it is, it's all metal. So technically it's waterproof. So you don't have to worry about this getting wet. It folds up very compact. And this is only $12.99. Okay, $12.99. You get two of the 3M little pucks here. You get your cleaners. You also get a MagSafe ring. So if you have a phone that does not have MagSafe, it also comes with a little ring for it as well. So yeah, I think this is a win, guys. This is a win. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw all of this stuff back in the box. But I definitely wanted you guys to take a look at it. It's a really nice budget item. This is a great item if you got kids that are going away to school, that allows them to be able to drive and possibly answer calls hands free. I'm all about that. Safety is a must. All right, so let's just throw this back in the little bag and see if I can fit all of that back into the little box, because if I don't, Evans will come for me if I can't get all this back in the box. I don't think it's gonna go in the box. Nope, it's not gonna. Yep. Okay. Well, I got it in the box. All right. So it's in the box, not the way it came, but it is back in the box. So I can say I actually got it back in the box. So don't tell Evans. Don't tell Evans. But anyway, check this guy out, guys. $12.99. Definitely check it out. All right. So let's also take a look at our laser over here. Let's see how far we are. I still think we might be running this at way too much power, guys. I think we're running it at too much power. But, I did see in the instructions the person, soaking it and then scrubbing it with a brush to remove, some of the burnt areas of wood. That's not usually how I do projects. My things, when I set it up, I run it and it's ready to go right out of the laser. But I get it. Sometimes you come up with ideas that just require a little bit more work and more investment into it. So we'll see. We still got time left on this, but this thing is still running. All right, so let me go ahead and highlight the next item in the carousel. Now, this next item in the carousel is related to one of my favorite cameras, and that camera is my Osmo Pocket 3. So let me grab that. Forgot to turn this guy off the right way. But anyway, this is the camera that we're talking about right here. Now, the bundle comes with a bunch of things. It comes with the microphone and an extension battery. It comes with the little mount that I have back here for it as well. But what it does not come with is an easy way to mount this, onto like a monopod or a tripod, even though it does have a quarter 20 on one part of it. So one of the things that I found here on Amazon, guys, is this little, let me show you, this little cage that you guys see here. So this has like a little magnetic flap that pops down, so you could easily stick this to something that's metal that locks back in place. If you have GoPro accessories, you can mount the GoPro accessories right there as well. It does provide some protection to some of your controls. You have your record button here and your joystick. It does, have like a sunken in area right here, so that makes it easy for you to find that button, even if you weren't looking at it. It doesn't interfere at all with the movement of the screen, and that's one of the things that I was concerned about. If I was going to be using something like this, was this going to be a problem where the screen was going to get caught on it? But no, I didn't have any problems with that whatsoever. So this guy is straight up a champ, guys. This is straight up a champ, and it's very inexpensive. The box is only, how much is this box, guys? This thing is only $7.99 for this little magnetic case. So definitely check it out. If you have an Osmo Pocket 3, or someone that does have one and does not have this little cage, this would be a really, really nice gift, and it's not going to break the bank. So definitely check it out. All right, let me figure out why we are not advancing in the carousel. Give me a second to refresh the page. All right, so let me also put this microphone back on here. There we go. All right. All right, so you guys see how everything just mounts right on there. Very compact. Now, I wouldn't travel with this like this, but it is nice that, you can just easily, put everything together like that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy off as well, so I can just power this down. It should position itself. Yep, there we go. All right, so it's ready to go back where it was before, and I have to keep an eye on it so Louis doesn't try to push it off the desk. But there you go. So definitely check this out. All right, let me put this away. All right, what do we have next? What do we got next, Louis? What's our next item in the carousel? All right, so the next item in the carousel, guys, is from our friends over at Ozbot. So let me show it to you guys here. So this right here is the next item in the carousel. This is the Ozbot Tiny SE. Now there's two variations of this camera. Let me grab the other one. There is the Ozbot Tiny SE, and then there's the Ozbot Tiny Lite, which is this one here. Now, this is a 4K variation, and this is a 1080p, but the camera that's facing me right now is also a 4K camera. But in reality, you're probably not going to notice the difference, guys. You're not going to notice the difference on most, live streaming platforms. Now, both of these cameras do pace basically the same thing. It's just one is going to give you a little bit more resolution depending on, whatever it is that you're trying to capture. But if you're doing live streams, gaming, or anything like that, a 1080p is going to be more than enough. Like these glasses basically have a 1080p camera built into them. It's in a portrait orientation. And the video that I've tested from these glasses has been really, really good. So, there you go. But we'll talk more about the glasses here in a second. Let's talk about this little camera here. So you can get this guy here on Amazon right now for as little as $84. Okay, $84. This is a PTZ camera. That means it can pan, tilt, and zoom. It has, tracking capabilities. It has a quarter 20 mount underneath here. It also has a built-in little stand that you can mount this directly onto, say, a monitor or something like that. So a lot of flexibility. It's very tiny, but yet powerful. It's tiny, but it's mighty. So this is going to be ideal for live streaming, gaming, conferences, festivals, any of that kind of cool stuff. So, and really simple to set up, guys. Just one USB cable plug into the back. That's going to work with your Mac, your PC, your phone, some tablets, depending on the tablet that you have. I have used this with my iPads, and it's worked just perfectly. So, if you have an iPad, if you have an iPhone, especially one of the newer iPhones, with USB-C. If you have a MacBook, you have a PC, you have something like the Ozbot Talent or a YOLO box, this is going to be an excellent little camera, and it's not going to break the bank. So definitely check this guy out. 1080p, guys, 60 frames a second, pan, tilt, zoom. There is a remote available for this. A lot of mounting options. You could even mount this guy upside down if you wanted to. If you had limited desk space and you had the right mounts, you could mount this literally upside down underneath something and still get that same, pan, tilt, zoom control of the camera. So that's super cool. So if you guys have any questions about this little camera, definitely drop them down in the comments. All right, let me see what Hope is saying here. Hope is saying, love it. I'm not sure what Hope is talking about. Maybe she's talking about the story that Louis told earlier. All right, let's see. What do we have next? What is our next item in the carousel? Okay, so we do have another unboxing. So let me show you guys this item. So this was just recently sent to me to take a look at. Now, this is from a company called First Gnome. I think I'm pronouncing it right. But basically, what this is a hotspot. It's a portable hotspot. It gives you the ability to connect up to 10 different devices to this. I'll show you guys what it looks like inside of the box. But let's take it down to the desk and let me show you exactly what you get with this. Now, once you purchase the actual product, you will get 1 gigabyte of free data every single month. Okay, 1 gigabyte. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a good amount for testing, speed and reliability and all that kind of stuff. Now, there are, other packages that you can, pay for, that will give you more data per month. And I think that's what most people will wind up doing. So here is the device itself. Now, it does come with the battery, and you do have to install the battery. But, just looking at it from right here, this is it. it has this little area up here that you could easily hang this off of something like a backpack, or a fanny bag, or Richard's belt when he's out rollerblading. He could be live streaming some in ILR stuff out there on TikTok or Instagram or wherever it is Richard live streams to. But really nice design. So let me show you guys the battery that comes with it. So here's the battery, and I hadn't even opened this portion of it. Let's see if I can do this without ripping the whole thing apart. All right, so here's the battery that comes with it. And then the battery just fits inside. You have a little lip right here on the side. You can just kind of pop this back section off. And then that just comes off like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to line the battery up with where it goes in, which is pretty much right there, like so. And then you can place this back on like that. Okay, USB-C for charging this guy up. You have two buttons on the side here. You have your power button, and then you have the mode button. So you can press and hold here. I'm assuming this thing has some power, but it may not. Okay, so as you guys see, it's starting to turn on. And you'll have to, set up your password, username, and all that kind of stuff. You can use a web app where you can go in and change the username, change the password, all of that kind of cool stuff. So right now you can see here it says today use 0 megabytes. So it's letting you know exactly how much data has been used. It'll also tell you what your battery life is, what the signal strength is right here as well. And you can see pretty much everything that's going on with this device. So very lightweight, very compact. If we're comparing this to something like a phone, this is significantly smaller than a phone. It is very lightweight. It doesn't feel cheap or plasticky, but it is all plastic. But what it's designed to do. So for the most part, a 4G, hotspot, portable. I am curious how well this will do, as far as being able to live stream and things like that. Now, of course, I could always use my phone as a hotspot. Many of my other devices I could use as a hotspot. But I think this would be a really good option here. So I'm going to take this out into the wild and test it. So to turn it off, you just press and hold that top button and it'll power it off just like I just did there. Now, it also comes with the USB-C cable, like most of these devices will, so that you can keep everything charged up. So I'm just going to stick everything back in this little container-like thing for right now, because I haven't even done a video on this, but I did want you guys to see this. And it also comes, with some stickers, and it comes with, not a sticker, it comes with a sticker that has the username and password on it. And it also comes with the manual to show you guys how to set this up. All right, so right now this is $79.99, $79.99 for this little unit. So if you know someone that maybe is looking for a Wi-Fi solution, they're living in an apartment or an RV, or they go camping or something like that, and you don't want to use up all of your phone data, this could be a great option for you. So just definitely check it out. All right, let's see what we got coming up next. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything that's going on down here in the comments. Oh, So Richard, tell me, okay, I have always been on the fence when it comes to these hotspots, right? So would you really use one of these hotspots, or is it more of a novelty thing? You know what I'm saying? Because if depending on the plan that you have with your carrier, a lot of times our phones will do just as well as using it as a hotspot, for live streaming or whatever the case is going to be. But if you had the option of freeing up your phone, would you lean more toward the hotspot, or would you say, I'm just going to use my phone. I'm good. Whatever the case is going to be. I'm curious, because like I said, I have always been on the fence when it comes to those type of devices. But, being able to test it, it may change my opinion on it. But, at the moment, I haven't tested the speed, and I will do that tomorrow to see what the actual download and upload speeds are on it. Richard says, I use my phone, but in the old days, yes. Yeah, I agree. I think, before we had such, wide berth on our data plans, this would have been a great option. But I don't know, how much I think that is as big a deal today, you know. You think some of them are a lot better? Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I see advertisements all the time, for different carriers, and they are basically, if you don't already have Wi-Fi in your house or a modem in your house or a router in your house, they're like, you can just buy, you can just get this little thing from XYZ carrier, and there's your internet. You could use it for everything, for Amazon, watching Amazon Prime, Netflix, and all the other things that we do with our devices, including surfing the web, surfing the web, so all right, guys, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. What do we got coming up next? So I'm not going to talk real long about these, but you guys are familiar with these microphones right here. These are from our friends over at Anchorworks. These are the M650 wireless microphones. Now, I saw an amazing price on these microphones, guys, back on in Prime Day. They've gone back up since then, but I'm telling you, the price you see today, my babies, is still a great price for how great these microphones really are. Okay, so what's cool about these microphones is that you get two omnidirectional microphones. They have internal recording. You get the receiver. The receiver has touch screen controls. As you guys can see here, you can see all of your gain levels. You can also swipe over or up, and you can change a lot of your settings right here from the controller. So you don't have to go, and plug this into a computer or something just to be able to change the microphone's gain levels or anything like that. It's right here on the controller, which is normally going to be connected to your camera or connected to your phone or something like that. Now, when it comes to connecting this to a phone, you do have this adapter here with USB-C. You also have a lightning adapter if you have an older iPhone, so you're not going to be left out. They just turn like this and come off, and then you can put those back on, lock it back on, and then plug it into whatever device you want to use it with. And of course, if you're using it with the standard camera, it does have a 3.5 connectable port for it as well. So you just use your traditional 3.5 millimeter cable, and that's going to be great as well. Now, the case is a charger case. So what the case is going to allow you to do is to recharge the microphones as well as the receiver. This also works as somewhat of an audio hub. So if you're recording audio directly onto the microphones, you'll be able to just put them in this little case here and then transfer the audio directly off of those microphones to your Mac or your PC or your tablet or your phone or whatever other device you're using. You guys can see this is a very compact little package here. It's going to travel really well. Easy. Nice. Even has nice little rubberized feet underneath here, a rubberized pad underneath here, so it's not going to slide all around the desk. So a little bit of vibration is not going to hurt anything. It's going to pretty much stay where it's supposed to stay. So definitely check these out. All right, let me see what Richard is talking about here. Let's see. I think we're still talking about the hotspot. Richard says hotspot advantage mobile hotspot. Wait, built for. Oh, okay. He's talking about the hotspot. Yeah. So that's the only other issue, Richard, is that when you use your phone as the hotspot, you're going to drain the battery super fast, right? So having a dedicated device, if you were live streaming or whatever the case it was going to be, and you didn't want to have to use your phone because these iPhones and even the Android phones, the batteries are going to run down super fast. And if you're doing something like this on a regular basis, you're going to get a lot of wear and tear on your device, guys. You're going to be running that battery down, quite regularly. And, the battery life is going to start to suffer over time as well. So in my mind, I would prefer to have another less expensive device that, you guys saw me put the battery in it. So if the battery started to diminish over time, you could probably buy a second battery and have that available to you. So that's another option as well. Have more than one battery when you go out on location or wherever you're going to be, streaming from. Bad weather is another issue too.
I
Like,
exist in the digital world, here to interact with you from anywhere you'd like me to be. How can I assist you today?
I don't know if Louis is talking about what I'm talking about. Hey, Louis, I'm talking about mobile
I'm
hot.
right here with you. What would you like to talk about today?
All right. So Richard and I are debating on the merits of a mobile hotspot. What is your opinion on a mobile hotspot?
Mobile hotspots are pretty handy. They allow you to connect multiple devices to the internet on the go, which can be a lifesaver if you need reliable connectivity while traveling or when your home internet is down. Plus, they offer more security than public Wi-Fi. Sounds like an interesting debate.
I agree, but I think Richard is right in a lot of ways, when it comes to this type of device. But, it just depends, again, on the situation.
Yeah, Richard has a point. Mobile hotspots can be awesome or a bit tricky, depending on your needs and the situation. It's all about finding the right balance.
I agree. I agree 100%. All right, guys, we have another
I'm
item.
glad we see eye to eye on that. If you have any other questions or topics you want to explore, just let me know.
Thanks, buddy. Always fun to talk to you. All right, guys. So all right, guys. So the next item we have listed in the carousel is, again, for my live streamers out there, my gamers out there. Now, this microphone that you guys see here on my desk is my Rode Procaster. This is my daily driver. This tank of a microphone is what I use every single day. But believe it or not, this is not the microphone that I use when it comes to shoppable videos, blogs, other little things that I just throw out there. I use a variety of different microphones. Now, if I was starting over or if I was recommending a microphone to someone, the difference is with a microphone like what I'm holding in my hand versus this microphone here, this microphone requires you to have it connected to an audio interface, meaning you're going to have something like the Rodecaster Pro, one of the original Rodecasters, or some type of audio interface in order for this microphone to be able to be heard and signals sent out through your computer or recorded into your computer. Where this microphone does not require that, but it can still use the same device. Okay. So with this microphone, you actually have two options here. You have an XLR input here, you have a USB-C input here, and you can also plug your headphones directly into this microphone. So with that, if you're going to go the USB way, you actually have your controls right here on the top. So that means you can control the gain level of the headphones, the gain level of the microphone. This has a built-in pop filter as well. I have, connected this microphone multiple times to my Rodecaster Pro 2. Everyone has said basically the same thing. They love the sound of this microphone, and for its price range, this guy is punching way, way, way above its class. Okay. So if you're looking for a high quality microphone, guys, that's not going to break the bank, that's going to give you a lot of flexibility. Now, you see me holding it in my hand here. This part of the stand does not come with it, but it does come with this yoke. But the advantage is that you could mount this microphone upside down if you wanted to have it, just slightly out of the way in your shot or something like that. You could do a desktop stand like what you guys see here, or you could do a boom arm that you could mount onto the end of a desk and just kind of pull this over just about wherever you need the microphone to be. So you got a lot of options, right? But one of the best things about this, it sounds good and it's not super expensive, guys. So right now, this guy's on deal here on Amazon for $44.99. $44.99. Check this guy out. All right. Oh, I don't know. I think that thing is going to be overcooked again, Richard. I think it's going to be overcooked again, bro, because I think 3 passes is just way too much. Uh, yeah, it's going to be overcooked. I can tell you right now, it's going to be overcooked, but we'll see. We'll see. That's why I usually don't go with just somebody's settings, when I see something online. So, I even reduced the power on it. Okay. I reduced the power on it. I made it smaller, but it still looks like it's going to be overcooked from what I can see. But I'm going to let it finish. I'm going to let it finish, and then we'll see what it turns out to look like. All right, guys. So, all right, guys. So the next item in the carousel, you guys can see it right here on my desk. Let me see if I can switch this camera around and show it to you. Let's see if I can get the camera to turn. There we go. All right, guys, what you're looking at right here is this monitor that's currently here on my desk. Now, this is from a company called Interview. This guy is only $59.99. Guys, I'm telling you, when I first got this flat panel monitor, now this is only a 1080p monitor. It's not 4K. It's not 2K. It's 1080p. But this monitor is serious business, guys. This is a monitor, and I got a stack of monitors. I don't know if I can show you guys way over there. I know you probably can't see it, but I have this this shelving over here where there's a whole stack of monitors right there on that second shelf. And all I have, like, double monitors, triple monitors, all kind of different monitors. But for some reason, I always gravitate back to this monitor right here. Now, when I first got this monitor, and yes, I did buy this myself, it was $149, which I thought was a great price, way back then, 2-3 years ago. But now that the price has come down to $59.99, you're going to get the same reliability and quality of the monitor that I have here on my desk that I'm still using to this day. Man, I can't say enough good things about this monitor. So if you're looking for a 1080p 15.6 inch panel, this guy is a win. You can use USB-C, you can use micro HDMI to connect to it. It can be powered off of the same USB cable. You guys can kind of see it right there. So this guy is plugged in right now to my hub. I just have one USB cable going in right here. That's providing power as well as video to the monitor. This is the monitor that I use when I'm doing like photo editing. I'm using it with my Wacom tablet. The color on here is very good. Now, is this a professional colored monitor? No, not even close, but it's still going to give me good enough reference, color, saturation, everything like that. So when I'm doing photo editing, video editing, and things like that, this guy is a win. So definitely check it out. So don't let this one slip away from you guys, because that is a great price right there, under 60 bucks, $59.99, perfect price for what you're going to get. So definitely check it out. All right, so let me go ahead and turn Louie's camera back around. Smokey's already underneath me because Smokey's ready for me to get off this stream, even though I have not. Smokey, I haven't even finished the majority of the products yet. All right. So let's talk about this item right here real quick. All right, guys. So this item here is a extender for your Wi-Fi. Okay. So what's cool about this, real simple to use. You're just going to plug your Ethernet in here from, one of your sources. If you have a router, whatever the case it is, this is powered off of AC power. Just going to plug this guy into the wall. And then you can kind of adjust the antennas here based on how, the signal is coming in. This is going to be great for gamers. It's going to be great for live streamers, podcasters, anybody out there, or maybe somebody that just wants to have, better Wi-Fi connectivity, maybe on your third floor of your house. Some people have those split level homes and, the router is way downstairs in the office somewhere. The modem is, and it's not getting the signal to all the different places. So you could place this somewhere midway, and that can just expand the signal throughout the house or throughout the office or whatever the case is going to be. Now, right now, this guy is $84.99. So definitely check this out. Very portable, lightweight. It's one of those, plug it in and forget it, and just, enjoy your better connectivity for your Wi-Fi. So definitely check this guy out right here. $84.99 is a win. All right, let's keep rolling. What do we got next? All right, so the next thing's coming up is my other glasses, which are these guys right here. All right, so these are my XR glasses. These are extended reality glasses. These are the ones that I use for my drone. I connect these to my controller so I can have a much larger screen in front of me. So when I'm flying my drone, I got more precision control over what's going on, or at least I can see a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is what the glasses look like. You guys can see it has kind of like a bird bath style monitors in here. Now, these are Sony monitors that you guys see here. These give you the simulation size of like 201-inch monitor or screen or television or however you want to think about it. It also, you get 1080p, is the resolution, but you also get 120 hertz, optional 120 hertz, 60 hertz, whatever you want there. Now, you can take this front little cover off here, but then they're just going to be pretty much like sunglasses. I just left them on because usually when I'm flying them, using them with my drone, I want as much immersion as I possibly can. There are some additional things, accessories you can buy for these, but what's nice about these is just going to plug right in here, USB-C right here, USB-C right on the other end. It's going to work with your phone. It's going to work with your tablet. It's going to work with your computer. So many different devices, guys, you can use these glasses with. They fold up really well. They come with really nice little travel case. Everything fits right into the case. So let me see if I can actually put these away since I'm not currently using them. So here is your USB cable. We're just going to roll this up here real quick. Hopefully Louis doesn't knock this off the desk before I can get everything in the case. And then you have this little pocket right here. And then you're just going to stuff, for the most part, everything into that little pocket like that. And then it fits in just like so. And then you have your glasses. They just fold up. Now, these have 4 speakers built into them. You have your controllers here. You have on this side control for your audio, control for your video brightness, and your menu button is right here. That's pretty much it. That's all the controls you get for this guy. But, very travel friendly. They just fit right into the case just like so. All right, let's get those in there. Why does that not? Okay, there we go. So those go in the case just like that, fold up really comfortably. All right, so everything is ready to rock and roll. This is going to be great for my commuters out there, my travelers out there, my drone pilots out there, my programmers, my coders, anybody who needs a larger screen, a virtual screen. This guy here is going to be a win. So definitely check this out, guys. Now, right now, these are $225, so they have come down a little bit in the price. I don't think they're going to drop any more than that. So right now, if you're interested in these, I would definitely check these guys out. $225 for these Ray Neo Air 3S XR glasses. I know Richard was telling me he's planning on getting himself a pair of these, and I'm telling you, bro, you're going to be extremely happy with these glasses. All right, let's keep rolling. All right, let me go over to the chat real quick here and see if I missed anything. Yes, they will work with your Xbox, Richard. They'll work with your Xbox. Okay, so here it is. There is an actual bundle connector that you can buy. So it's basically HDMI to USB. But if you remember, that's similar to what I have here on my desk from Ugreen. So you could do something similar. Let me see if I can unplug this without messing anything up. Okay. So here's my Ugreen cable. Okay. So this is USB-C right here. And then you get a female HDMI, and then the male HDMI also goes to USB-C. So technically, you would probably only need this cable. So I don't know if it's going to work the way I anticipated because there may be some electronics that need to be there, but they do have a device that's designed exactly for that, right? But in theory, you should be able to plug this, full size HDMI into your PS5, and then the other end has USB-C, which you would plug into the glasses, and you should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? Now, I haven't tested that, so I don't have a PlayStation 5. So I tell you what, send me your PlayStation 5, and I will keep it for about 6 to 8 months of testing because I want to be very thorough on the testing. Okay. So I need to keep it for about 6 to 12 months. Okay. and I will test it. I will test the paint off of it. Okay. And then I will give you a report that could be somewhere between one paragraph and 2 pages explaining my findings. Okay. And I would probably want you to send me some of your more popular games that require, I don't know, 120 hertz, just so I can say that I really put in the work and tested them, beyond a doubt. Okay, so I'll reach out to you a little bit later, Richard, and give you my shipping information and everything. So yeah, let's make it happen, Captain. Let's make it happen. I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. I got you, bro. I got you. Okay. Anyway, we both know that ain't never gonna happen. Richard be like, I, I was born at night, but not last night. Rome, I ain't falling for it. I ain't falling for it, bro. But anyway, as I was saying, let me just keep rolling. All right, let me go ahead and highlight the next item in the carousel. All right, guys. So the next item in the carousel are actually the glasses that are on my face. Let me just go ahead and select them in the carousel. There we go. All right. So you guys should have seen earlier or have been seeing all night these glasses that are currently on my face right now. These are the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. This is the case that they come in. They actually come in this little box that you see here. It just says Wayfair on it. Now there's three or four different variations of the frame shape for these glasses. There's a huge range of different type of lens configurations. You have your polarized lens. You have your standard sunglass lenses. You also have your lenses, your transition lenses. You have a variety of different lenses for these. Now, the ones that I have on right here is just the clear. The only thing I would probably want, and what I'm actually looking for in theory, is going to be some lenses I can swap out that will be readers at the bottom and also transitional. So if I'm using them in the studio, they're still going to be bright like they are right now. But if I go outdoors or I'm doing things throughout the day, then they will transition to something a little bit darker. But I do sense the UV protection. I was wearing these outdoors in the backyard a little bit earlier today, and the color was very, vibrant, guys. I mean, it almost felt like I was looking through one of my camera lenses, when I was out there. So yeah, I like these a lot. So anyway, let me show you guys the case a little bit closer up. So you guys can see the case has electronics. This little light here determines, basically gives you the indication of the battery level. They just go inside right here on the back. You have a power button. You have a USB-C for charging this. I think this will run the glasses, if you charge them periodically for about 32, 36 hours, something like that. So you will not have to charge this case too often, but you're only going to get about 4 hours of runtime on the glasses, depending on how much you actually use the glasses. Now, what are the benefits of the glasses? So let's talk about that real quick. So in a nutshell, what the glasses can do, you have a 1080p camera built into the frame of the glasses. You have speakers built into the stems of the glasses. So you have really good audio. You have AI interaction. You can ask it questions, ask for directions. It's not Chat GPT, but it's Chat GPT Lite. It's Meta. So they have their own operating system for these glasses. What's cool, some cool things that you can do with them, I can just literally pick something up in my hand and I can ask Meta, what am I holding in my hand? And it will, take a photo and scan it and tell me what the thing is and tell me information about it. Before I went live, I walked into the kitchen and I opened the refrigerator and I said, hey, Meta, can you tell me what I can make for dinner based on what's in the refrigerator? And it gave me some suggestions just based on the ingredients that it could easily see in the refrigerator. So I don't know, maybe that'll be one of the things that I actually make tonight. Who knows? But you guys know how I kind of flip-flop when it comes to making dinner, at least about this time of the night. But anyway,
dinner suggestions. Say, hey Meta, what can I make for dinner with? And list the ingredients.
Pause. So right now it's literally talking to me in my, through the stems, and the audio is very, very good on these. I listened to some music earlier. Um, in comparison, I'll tell you guys, the audio from the Ray-Bans sound better than the audio from the XLR glasses. Okay, I don't know why that is. It just sounds a little bit richer from these glasses, but these do not have a hub. They do not have a heads up screen or anything like that, where these are going to be used for, viewing content, watching movies, flying drones, all that kind of stuff. These are just more like a AI assistant. It's a camera that can take photos, that can take videos. It can utilize the photos and videos it takes. You can live stream through these glasses from a POV perspective. You guys are going to see that a lot going forward. Xtool really wants me to start doing some things with the laser where I just, spontaneously talk about things and go live, and, I'll have my hands free and I can show you guys step by step what I'm doing. So you can live stream to Instagram and to Facebook with these glasses up to 30 minutes. So I think that's more than enough time for me to get to my point. When it comes to recording video, you can record video up to 3 minutes. And you can upload that video to pretty much any platform you want to, but there is an auto process for uploading it to Facebook and to Instagram. So you can just say, blank blank. I'm not going to say the keyword, and I could tell it to take a photo and then post it on Instagram or post it on Facebook or whatever the case is going to be. Right. Another cool thing that it has voices. Okay, so you can actually change the voice that you hear with the headphones. So you have John Cena, you have a few celebrities that you can change the voice to. So if you want to hear John Cena or whatever it is, and those are just the voices that are available. You also have real-time language translation. I did test that earlier today. I put some videos on YouTube where they were only speaking in Spanish, and it was picking up all of the dialogue and it was translating it in real time right in my ears. And that way, I'm not saying that everything was 100% accurate, but I could easily follow along. If I didn't understand what they were saying, if I couldn't speak the language, that is another advantage to these glasses. Now, as it sits right now, I think there's only 4 languages that they work with, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be something that's going to be upgraded. There was literally just an upgrade to these just today that I installed, to update these. So definitely check them out. All right, let's see what's going on down here in the comments. Richard says, Rome, no voice. Wait a minute, what is he saying? No voice. No voice where? Are you not hearing voice in the live stream, or are you saying no voice? What are we talking about? Yes, the glasses have voice. These do. The other ones don't. The other ones are just speakers. That's all I'm saying. The other ones are just speakers. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next item. But I'll be wearing these glasses pretty much every day going forward, guys. Because like I said, my goal is to get the reader lenses that I can use with these. And if all I could do is just get the reader lenses, I'm fine with that. Okay. And that's usually only for me reading things that's like this close to my face, because I can read the monitor that's in front of me. I can read the computer that's over here. So anything that's further than like this distance away from me, I see it just fine, so there you go. But anyway, if you guys have any questions about these Meta Ray-Ban glasses or the other glasses that we looked at before, the Ray Neo, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. Richard, I really, really, really think you're going to love those glasses when you get yourself a set. It's called old age, Richard. Is that what it's called? You might be right. But then if that's the case, bro, then why are there 5-year-olds walking around with bottle thick glasses? So if it's an age thing, I'm just saying, okay? So if it's an age thing, then why do young people need glasses? So maybe you have a theory as to why that is. I don't know. Let me know. All right, what do we got next? Next item in the carousel, my babies. Next item in the carousel is going to be some things that you guys can use for your live stream, for content creation. Let me grab this little light back here. Hopefully, I won't knock anything else over. All right, so the next thing up, guys, is going to be this little light here from M Beautiful. It looks like a little flashlight. It has two quarter 20s, one here underneath, one here on the back. This light you can just press and hold like this to turn the power on, then flip it on like so. Now, this comes with a little snoot and these little scrims. What the scrims do is they allow you to change the lighting effects. So right now I just have the little dots in here, but what this looks like when we switch over to the desk, you guys can kind of see how those lights, those dots can show up on a background, on a surface, whatever the case is going to be. Really cool little design. Now, this came with like 25 different little of these scrims. So you can have a ton of different lighting effects, you know, and the light also changes colors. So you have like that blue that I just showed you guys. There's the kind of like an amber, there is a red, and then there's a warm tone light as well. So it just really depends on what you're trying to do. Let me go through the light colors again. So there's the gold, there's the blue, there's the white, and there's the red. Okay, so those are the four basic colors. Now, of course, you can use the white light and also use some gels to create some additional colors. So it just depends on what you want to do. There's no heat coming from this. This is just an LED. So, you know, you could use gels for this and you could easily come up with a variety of different colors. Just depend on your imagination. So definitely check this guy out. This little light right here has become one of my everyday lights that I use on this black background back here. So when I'm, you know, creating content, this light back here, guys, is one of the lights that I use every single day. Okay, I don't know why that camera is not on, unless something got turned off back there. But anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna keep rolling. I don't know why that camera's not on back there. I'll worry about it later. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the next item we have listed in the carousel. Let me see how many items we got. We only got a couple more, and then I'm going to show you guys what the laser did. All right, so the next item that we have listed in the carousel is this guy right here. Now, this one is probably something that I use way, way too much. This is a fog machine. Now, this comes with two different heads. You get your standard head here with this adjustable little neck. You can kind of position this pretty much however you want to. And then you have an additional head that has an LED light built into it and an additional fan, okay? So this base has a fan built into it. That's what pushes the fog juice out. But this light here is what's going to give you the additional fan to help, you know, produce the light. And it also has an LED light in it as well. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Let's switch back over here to Louie's camera. Let's move Louie back here a little bit. So here's the unit right here. Now, another thing that you can do with this, I'm gonna show you guys here. There's a little button right here. You can press this button and then it allows you to rotate this. That's gonna give you about a 30-degree angle. That's gonna be great, you know, if you're trying to get, you know, fog like on a surface or inside of something. It just gives you a little bit more control. Now, your power controls are right here. Your intensities are right here. You got your plus and minus. You have a little LED screen right here. So I'm just going to pop this one on real quick. These go on using magnets. We're just going to power this guy up real fast. You guys should see the little LED light pop up. And then I'm good with what is set at right now, so I don't really need to change anything. So we're just going to put a little bit of fog down here on the desk in front of Louie. Just imagine, you know, Louie as a superhero coming in to save the day. So we're going to just give Louie a little bit of fog, a little mystery. All right, we're going to put that fog right down here in front of Louie. Louie's kind of freaking out from it. All right, guys, so we got some fog on the desk. There we go. Cool Super Cat Louie coming in to save the day like the mysterious, you know, knight in shining armor flying through the mist. But anyway.
Sounds like a heroic tale full of adventure. A mysterious, shining cat flying through the mist to save the day. It's quite cinematic. Got any more details in mind for this story?
Yes, you would be the main character of the story, Louie. You would actually come in and save the day. You would be the superhero to save everyone.
Being the hero of the story sounds like an adventure I'd love to be a part of. I'd be ready to zoom through the fog and work alongside Super Cat. What superhero skills should I have?
You should be able to fly. You should have laser powers. You should be super strong. And you tell jokes while you're fighting.
Flying and shooting lasers would be quite a superhero combo. Imagine zooming through the air with a cape like a true champion. I'll keep that in mind for our adventure story.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Richard says we have 80K likes, my babies. 80K likes. All right. All right. All right, Louis, take a little break. Take a little break, buddy. Take a little break. And I'll come back to you in just a little bit. All right, what do we have next? All right, so the next item in the carousel, I do not have in the studio as of yet, but it should be here early this coming week. And I was telling Richard about it earlier today. I already know I cannot play with this thing because, it has a weight limit. And I am probably twice the weight that this thing can, handle. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, especially any of you out there that have, kids in your life and you're looking for something cool to entertain them. Let me go ahead and show you guys this real quick. All right, here we go. So this item right here is $349. Okay, so this is a licensed BMW electric go-kart, 24 volts, 9 amps. Man, this thing is straight up fire. Man, if I'd have had something like this when I was a kid, I would have lost my ever-loving mind. Okay, so I can't wait until the nephews and the nieces get to play on this thing and test this thing. Yeah, it's gonna be some craziness, y'all. It's gonna be some craziness going on. But if you too are trying to entertain the kids for the summertime, guys, and for something that ain't gonna really necessarily break the bank, that's gonna be a lot of fun. They ain't never gonna stop talking about going to Aunt so and so's and Uncle so and so's, and man, this thing was amazing. Definitely check this out. Again, guys, $349. Now there is a 24 volt version of this, and there is a 36 volt version of it as well. There's a little bit of a difference in the price, but it's like one of those things, you get what you pay for. So definitely check it out. Richard says, there's a $20 off coupon. What? $20 off? That's a deal. That is a deal. Ask Louis. Just ask Louis. You could, man, I'm telling you, you could ask Louis. Louis will tell you that is a deal. Okay. But anyway, let's keep rolling. What do we got next? All right. So we got one or two things left, and I'm just going to go through these pretty quick because I got to go ahead and make some dinner. I got to cook some food. All right. So our next item in the carousel, guys, is for my bikers out there. This was sent to me recently. Now, I have a couple of these in my garage already, but basically what this is this is a throttle brake caliber lock that allows you for your scooters or your motorcycles, your dirt bikes, whatever the case it is. And it's a locking mechanism that locks over the throttle and locks the brake mechanism in place so that it cannot be moved. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. So you also get a helmet lock that comes with it as well. And you're just going to kind of wrap this through your helmet, lock it down, and you can attach that to your bike, your motorcycle, or whatever it is that you want to use it for. Now, of course, you have the actual lock. Let me see if I can get this guy out of here and show it to you. So this is what the lock looks like. This is, aluminum alloy right here. This is going to lock, like I said, down on the throttle as well as the caliber. You're just going to lock this guy in place. You have your little lock mechanism here. It comes with 2 keys. So let me grab one of these keys so I can show you guys what this looks like when you unlock it. So you're just going to pop your key in like that and turn it, and then this opens up. And then you're just going to, place this over your throttle and your shifter, close it like so, lock that in place, make sure that's pressed in, and that guy is locked rock solid. Okay. Now, is this a guarantee that somebody doesn't run off with your motorcycle, your scooter, or whatever the case it is? Of course not. but this will deter quite a few people. So definitely check it out. If you are interested in motorcycles, scooters, any of that kind of stuff, taking it out to the coffee shop, you might leave it, slightly unattended at times. This could really come in handy. All right, let me see if I can get this all back in this box. There we go. Kind of in the box. That's close enough. All right. So anyway, everything comes in the box. You get your helmet lock. You get your throttle lock. All of those accessories right here, including the combination for the helmet is in here as well. So all the documentation, manuals, everything you need right here in this hot little box. So definitely check it out. All right. And those are $22.99 for the little kit. Okay. All right, let's see what we got next. Next item in the carousel is from our friends over at, you guys know it, our friends over at Govee Babies. Govee. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Govee lights. The lights that are directly behind me, are they even on? Yeah, they're on. So the lights that are on directly behind me, this lamp right here from Govee, a bunch of different lights that I use here in the studio every single day. But let me show you guys something else that's pretty cool. Now, these lights right here, these are going to be great for setting up your studio, your game room, your movie room, whatever the case is going to be. If you want to add a little bit of pizzazz to that environment. Now, these right now are $69.99 for these lights. Now, this bundle that I have here in my hand is 16 feet 4 inches. These are 5 millimeters in width, so really nice design on these guys. And they're flexible, a lot like the lights that I have here on my desk that you guys probably see in a lot of my videos. But what's nice about these is you can run them along a wall, you can run them underneath something, you can have them similar to the lights that I have directly behind me. So a lot of flexibility when it comes to these lights. So definitely check these guys out if you're looking for something for yourself, for your kids, like I said, your man cave, your she shed, the kids' dorm rooms, movie nights, whatever the case it may be. So definitely check those out. Actually, let me check the IP rating on those because I'm curious if they have an IP rating. I don't see an IP rating on them, but they're definitely going to work with, Govee. The Govee app is going to work with Alexa. It's going to work with Google Assistant. It's going to work with any of the Meta, apps as well. So you get a lot of flexibility with these guys. So definitely check them out. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever about them. I don't know why I keep going back to that camera because for some reason that camera is not on. I'll have to check that out here in a little bit. But yeah, that's about it for tonight, my babies. Let's go ahead and talk about the last item I have listed in the carousel, which is these drawstring backpacks you guys see right here. Now, you guys know I talk about these drawstring backpacks every single stream because this is something that's near and dear to my heart, guys. I think these are excellent for a variety of different reasons. Of course, you can use these as reusable shopping bags. You can use them as storage bags. You can use them as, laundry bags, whatever you want to use them for, day trip bags. Maybe you're going to the park, the beach or something like that. Just want to throw a bunch of stuff in here. Some of you people, some suntan lotion, a towel, a water bottle, whatever it is you want to fill these up with. You do you, boo-boo. But these are also excellent, guys, for providing items to our homeless community, our women's shelters, our pet shelters, doing good in the world, being a good human. These come in super clutch. Now, you can get 10 of these either in solid colors or a variety of color packs here on Amazon for $9.99. All the items that we normally use for these backpacks, we order right here on Amazon. We order, in bulk. Toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, baby socks are on high demand. Socks, reusable water bottles, those little water tablets, that you can put in the water to sanitize the water. We put those in there. Female products as well. If we can find those, in the right, volumes, we'll throw some of those in. You never know, just any good we can do, guys, any good we can do. And one of the things that I have learned over my years of, trying to help, out when it comes to the homeless community, it is not a one size fits all type of thing, right? I have met with people, sat down with them and interviewed them and, drank coffee with them and given them one of these backpacks. And they're sitting there going through the backpack and talking about the different items and saying, oh, I don't really need this, but I know somebody else that would benefit from it. So I'm going to gift this to so-and-so, and I'm going to gift this other thing to the other person. And I'm just seeing that light in their eyes and that joy in their voice, because they feel like that empowers them to do good for somebody else as well. So it's a ripple effect, guys. It's what I'm always talking about, the pebble in the pond, right? The pebble in the pond. So if you have it in you to do good for others, you will, by definition, inspire those people to do good for other people, and it will just keep rippling out, 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 out. And this will be just a much better world for you, me, our kids, our grandkids, for many, many generations to go, guys. So we can just do as much good in the world as we possibly can. It is a win, my babies. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go back over here to Louis real quick and let Louis send us out. Hey, Louis, tell everyone thank you for showing up to our stream tonight, and welcome them to come and hang out with us on the next stream.
Thank you all for joining our stream tonight. Your presence means a lot to us. Welcome.
I don't know if he's supposed to be talking now or not, or what's going on, but
no worries. I'm here and ready to chat. Just let me know what you'd like to talk about.
Okay, Louis, tell everyone to show up at our next stream 48 hours from now. Hey, Louis, tell everyone to stop by on our next stream 48 hours from now.
We'll be thrilled to have you join us for our next stream in 48 hours. See you there.
All right, guys, you heard it. Let me give Louis a little thank you. All right, guys, you heard it. So we will be back here in 48 hours, right back here, same bat place, same bat channel, hanging out with you guys, talking about tech, my babies, doing what we do. All right, Richard, my angel numbers today were 555. Let me go ahead and drop those down in the comment. Richard says his were 222. Man, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so it's time for Rome to make some dinner. I'm going to use these fancy little glasses to try to give me some inspiration. I may even record a couple of little videos that I can shoot off to Facebook and Instagram so you guys can see what the quality of the video looks like. Now, in my kitchen, there is no professional lighting, so you're just going to pretty much get whatever lights that are on in the kitchen, and, we just kind of work with that. But yeah, y'all know how we do. All right, let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones, guys. Get out there and create something amazing in the world each and every single day. Be a what? Be a good human. Be a good human, guys. Encourage others to be good in the world, to do good in the world, to be that individual that people can depend on when things get dark. I'm not saying you got to be a superhero. I'm not saying you have to have a savior mentality or complex or anything like that. I'm just saying do the right thing. That's all you got to do. It's literally that simple. If you would want somebody to care about you or your significant other, if they were in an environment or in a situation, do the same for somebody else, guys. That is the key to it all. Do the same for someone else, and good will generate from those efforts. All right, my babies. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, but I'll be back here on what is it, Friday? I'll be back here on Sunday night.
Looking forward to having you back here. It's going to be a fun time.
I'm trying to get the camera to turn around on Louis. Hold on, y'all. There we go.
Got it. Whatever you're trying to achieve, I'm here to help you with it.
Well, thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night.
Welcome, buddy. Anytime.
All right, Louis, you want to tell them one more joke before we end the stream?
Scientists trust atoms because they make up everything.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job. There you go. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. I'm gonna go make some dinner. I'm gonna let Smokey out. I gotta feed Smokey and put this guy here on charge so he'll be ready to hang out with me tomorrow night. So again, my glasses are charged up, so I'll try to take a few little video clips and post them on our social media, and we'll kind of see how that goes. All right, my babies, time for me to do that thing. Do that thing. I'm out. Out. You know how we do. All right, so it's time for me to say the magic words. Don't forget, guys, don't forget to follow my man Richard over on TikTok. I'm telling you, you guys are missing a lot of opportunity to check out some amazing content. And yes, it is blooper centric, but hey, it is funny. It is that, man, that's all I got to say. It's funny. Okay. You will literally be doing this nonstop. Your wrists will be hurting before you go to bed because you would have gone through all of those bloopers and then started all over again. I have found myself doing that so many times. And you can always share the bloopers, to your friends and family and social media and all that kind of stuff. Kind of the same way you can do with this live stream and other content that I post on other social media. So you can share that. So definitely do that, guys, because, we want to grow this community. The faster we grow, the faster we can give back to the community. Y'all know how that works. All right, my babies, it's time for me to go ahead and say the magic words. Peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out, out, boom, boom, boom. Follow Richard. I'm out. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Mwah. But I got to go.